Hi, I'm Dennis Weiss, Eagle Communications. Welcome to Our Town, a special episode from the Abilene Middle School with the Abilene Music Program sitting in the chairs. We have Katie Bretz, teaches vocal. Mr. Toby Wisehour teaches band, and we're sitting in Toby's room. Thanks for letting us come.
Sure, we're glad to host the folks from Abilene and give them an insight to what we do.
Okay, I dropped in here the other day, and I think you had sixth graders in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some random rhythm problems going on, and you said, okay, what comes first, rhythm or tone?
Mm-hmm.
And then you wrote a list of things on the whiteboard, and I said, I really should take a picture of that because that seems significant. You reminded young people of what they had to do to play well in the band, and that list was what?
I think any time that you can break things down into its lowest common denominator, I think that's a good thing. So rather than teaching each piece individually, we try to teach things that will travel from one piece to another and from one grade level to another. So the first priority, assuming that kids have an instrument that's working, the first priority always for us is posture. And then the next priority would be just good breath support and making a good tone. And then we have a priority of playing the correct rhythms, and then a priority of playing the correct pitches. And then along comes the rest of it, which is all the dynamics and contour and those kinds of things that make us sound good. I think kids focus often on, if I play the right note, that's enough. And really there's quite a bit more to it than that. But if you keep coming back to a basic set of 5 things or a basic set of 3 things, or, it's most educators in this building I think would agree, keep it simple and keep it memorable. So that's what we keep trying to hammer on.
I ask you that because as I walked in and just was in here just a minute or so, I thought that was very significant to the fact of what education is in a music program. I'm lucky to have a son here in the Abilene Middle School, and he's in both band and he's in vocal, and he loves them both. But I found it interesting that you, whoa, wait, and you said the thing, and it's the list, and it starts with posture. Mm-hmm. Before they can make a sound for music, they have to sit correctly. So I'm already self-conscious whether Toby's going to slap me about where I sit. What do you think the odds are, Katie? Is he going to hit me today, or can I get by with this?
I think you're looking pretty good.
Okay, all right. I asked to interview you two today because I have had the opportunity to see the great success that's created in the middle school music program. We're sitting right outside where the cafeteria is. This is band room, cafeteria is over that way. I have never been here to either a vocal concert, Katie, or to a band concert that it didn't go standing room only with people setting up their own chairs to make that happen. Katie, could you tell us a little bit about the history of your involvement with the music program here and how you see that as playing a part in the education process at Abilene Middle School?
Well, I've been here this is my 5th year, and we have done a lot building the program in both numbers and in what we do. For example, this Christmas concert will be the first time that we're going to do a combined piece with all of the choirs together, as well as a combined boys piece and a combined girls piece. So all the kids from the 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, and my star will come together to sing a mass piece together, and then they will also do a choir piece with just the women and with just the men. And they're really excited about that. So we're not only trying to build in numbers with the involvement of kids, but we're also trying to kind of expand on, is it just a choir? Is it just, 6th grade sings these songs all the time? No. We're trying to build kind of what we're all about. As far as education, I tell my kids all the time that this is so much about so many different aspects. We're not just singing. We are reading in another language. All of the symbols that we read in band and in choir, they're different. It's a different language, and we have to do math, and we have to count, and we have to listen. There are just so many different aspects that is not just cut and dry. So trying to, like with the younger levels, building a very firm foundation, and then as we get to go higher, for example, as in my Star Singers, my audition group, we get to really get past all of the basic stuff and really build on all of the wonderful things that make music happen. The blending and the crescendos and all of those other things that really make it a lot of fun. So it's not just about music, it's about history, it's about another language, it's about all of those things coming together as one.
Can I tell you what it's all about for me?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting at home. Judah's 13 now, so this would have been 6 or 7 years ago, and he's a little fella. Working at my home office, and he's playing on the floor with some Army boys or something, and he's singing away. I was having a very bad day. I'm sitting in front of the computer, and the world was just not good for me that day. And he's just singing away, and out of my selfish thought process, I go, Judah, can you just not sing for a minute? And he looked up at me and he said, but Daddy, singing makes me happy. I said, well, son, sing away. And I put my hands down. I focused on his singing a little bit and found myself lifted out of my own bad mood, as it were. But I imagine at that day, as I looked forward, I said, you know, he can sing all of his life. He can make himself happy. He can lift his mood all of his life by the fact that he enjoys singing, and he can do it while he does other things. And what a moment it was for me to know that he's chosen some of singing, of music, as the way of lifting his life. I think that's pretty dang cool. And as I walk in here and I watch you people lead these children, you call them young men and women, these middle school kids. That's great to hear you do that. I like calling them kids. Watch these kids walk to the stage and perform as young men and women, and to know that they're lifting their skills and their spirits and all the people in the room. I think that's just good for the world, much less good for the Abilene, our town community. Toby, what do you think?
I think you're absolutely right. You know, some of the things that we try to create here are moments that reflect life. You know, life is a very big, complex, complicated thing, and when a student comes into middle school, it's really the first time that they have to kind of deal with that. You know, who am I really, and who do I go with, and who do I not go with, and where do I belong? And for the longest time, I kept a little puzzle piece on my desk just to remind me that we weren't here to create people. We're here to see where they fit. And I think Katie and I both are trying to find, trying to create a situation where a kid can kind of figure some of those things out. Every kid, you know, we use a sports lingo, everybody needs a home court advantage, and I think we provide that for kids. This is a place where they can kind of come and be safe and belong, and, you know, really experience a lot of different kinds of things, not only with just the musical activities that we provide, but with, you know, we just share a lot of life experiences. The bands and the choirs both travel with kids, and, you know, just opening up their eyes to a bigger world, and, you know, just in addition to all the teamwork things that go on there. I think it's a great place to be. I mean, this is a very deliberate life choice for me. I really think we make a big difference for kids here.
I see both of you leading our young people, young men and women, kids out into the community to not only do things for the community, but I see you leading them in competition. Mm-hmm. You take them to the next level and maybe the level after that. So I guess I'm a sports guy. I love music, but I'm not good at it, but I was a sports guy. I think competition's incredibly important to let kids find their limits on what they can achieve, and I see that in the music program. I don't know how many people know that. Can you, each of you, speak a bit, Katie, about what kinds of competitions you folks go to and how you perceive it as part of your program?
The concerts, the concert choir, my audition choir, we go to Hayes, what's the Hayes Music Festival, and that's really the only competition thing that we do, and it's not so much a competition with other schools, you know, that not one is based upon another or one wins over another, but we do get a score. We go and perform for judges, very much like the high school contest in the spring that they do. We go and we perform, and we get ratings and critiqued, and for me, the cool part is I think it's more of a competition with ourselves. It's like, okay, well, last year we got a 1, you know, that was the highest rating. Can we do that again, or can we go to the higher level and get an AP or, you know, a 1+? So I think that's kind of where were we last year at this time, and where are we now? You know, can we be better? Can we push ourselves to get a little bit better? For me, that's as much as competition as I think we reach.
I had the opportunity of going to the cathedral in Victoria last year and watched your junior high choir perform alongside Fort Hays and the Hays High group in a very exclusive setting. It seemed to me that had all the elements of competition. When you walk through the door, those children knew they were entered in something. that was significant. And they knew their performance was in front of a lot of people. And that's what competition is to me. It's always about myself. It's always about making me better. Wow, what an experience that was to see those young people do that.
And I guess in my eyes, that situation was very special for them. My alma mater, Fort Hays, invited us to come down, and I could see in the kids' eyes, like you said, you know, they knew they were in a very special place. But I think it was that little bit of, wow, look where we are, look how cool this is. We're really lucky to have been invited to do this. I hope that it was more of a, you know, this is how hard we've worked, and this is, you know, kind of where we've gotten because of that, and look how lucky we are, kind of thing.
I heard it again on the iPad last week, so I know it's significant to one young person. Dad listened to that. He said, I remember when I was standing there hearing the voices around me, the chills that went up my back. That's something that's educational. It's that pressure that you have to deal with in life and to perform with what you do. That's an opportunity of testing, if you will, that's important to young people. Toby, what do you do in band? Same thing.
We have we have one primary festival that we go to at the end of the year. We go up to Wamego, and it's a band invitational up there. And the kids can either perform individually as soloists or as small groups, and we always take the jazz ensemble up there and compete. And it does, I like some aspects of that. I think it does clarify the goal. I think a lot of times, you know, athletics has a pretty clear-cut way to win. I mean, whoever crosses the finish line first, whoever has the highest score. So I think one of the things that sometimes other areas struggle with is, you know, how do we define the win? You know, what's the win for us? And certainly not all of it, but part of that can be, you know, did we successfully participate in this process? You know, did we, from the beginning to the end of exploring this piece of music, you know, were there things that you learned from it? Were there things that you put yourself into? You know, the rating for me is, you know, is important. The kids always want to know what that score is. And we've been very fortunate to walk away from that with some very good ratings. But I'm always interested, too, in the process. And that's one of the reasons that we partake and we spend so much time and invest so much energy into a festival like that, is that the process of it really clarifies some, as an individual basis, where all the performers are. When we pull music for that, you know, it takes quite a while to get that all done, but I pull each piece with an individual kid in mind. So what would they most benefit from? Do they need a lyrical piece? Do they need a technical piece? You know, where might the challenges be? And it's a lot of time, and it's like I say, it's a pretty good investment, but it's always a great payoff. You know, the kids have that pressure of going and playing, and it's just you. You know, there's no one else to rely on. It crystallizes your thinking. It's a real defining moment. So in those regards, I really like it.
I enjoy the concerts at the band shell in the summer, the community concerts that you're usually standing up there making jokes about the cable guy. I've been a little sensitive about that part.
Maybe.
But I enjoy seeing the young people mixed with the adults and the opportunity of meld our generations together using music. You don't play basketball. A 13-year-old doesn't generally get a chance to play basketball in a high-level environment with adults, but music does provide that oftentimes, both vocal and band.
Yeah, there are a couple things I really like about the municipal band. In addition to all the commercials that we could give about the city band, it's like the second or third oldest in the state of Kansas for the longest running. I like the fact that my kids are there and learning and being mentored by people who have been playing their whole lives. And I like the fact that when I go, I can be in a group not only with my students, but with my former instructors, you know, because there have been times where my old band directors have been there. And I think what I like the most about it is that as a service organization, you know, we've played for several events of the city and the Eisenhower Center for some different things. It gets kids thinking, it's not all just about me. You know, I'm going to go play this concert for these people. And I think it gets kids out of their own minds and into, it's okay to do things for other people. And it's okay to participate in this because that's important to them. And, you know, I think if we can get kids into a mindset of service to others and, you know, sharing their talents and gifts, whether they get anything out of it or not, I think that would be a win.
How important is that mandate as a person, Katie? As you are the leader of half of this program, how important is it to you as a person of that leadership, your educational opportunity here at Abilene Middle School?
Well, I think in addition to music, part of our responsibilities as being a teacher is to help mold who they're going to be. We're supposed to help give them the values that they're going to need as adults, and to help guide them to where they want to be and maybe where they should be. And so I think beyond the rehearsal, beyond the music, for me, that's the really neat part, and that's what I hope to instill in the kids is what kind of person do you want to be, and what do we need to get you there.
Toby?
It's an awesome thing to be a part of. It's sometimes a great responsibility that you really feel the weight of. That I was just mentioning to the kids this morning, I'm going to be one of the few people who has the opportunity to teach these kids for basically 7 years. And so there is some extra relationship there that gets built. And when those opportunities come, music sometimes becomes the conduit for lessons about life. Because you're doing this in the music room, there are often links and tie-ins and things that you can, I think you can have a good lesson about character and a lesson about, who are you really, and, does this match your integrity? Is this who you want to be? And it's really neat. It was only a few weeks ago I had a former student. They've actually moved away from the community, and they were coming back to town, and he's kind of struggling with his home life right now, and he found his way to the band room and wanted to have a conversation about just what was going on, and just to have a part of those kinds of things it's just really awesome.
I think we could probably talk to any teacher in the building and hear similar things about the experience with kids. But the opportunity to talk to you two about music with my son here, I feel like I get a little bit of an insight into who you are as people, and what you do here is a little more transparent to me than the folks who may have never met you, which is why I wanted to be here today with a camera. Okay? So a lot of it is thank you to being who you are. But I also want to finish out with, the community has some choices as we look forward what we do with education. And it's real easy to focus on the little kids in elementary, and the big kids because they're the final product that leave high school as a senior. Middle school sits in the middle and kind of middle school. Well, middle school is where many, many, many life decisions are made that are greatly impacting the outcomes for these young people. Music is such a lifelong thing. You can sing till the day you die. You may not sing well, but in my case, but you can sing till the day you die. I don't know about play the banjo. I suppose the arthritis sets in, So all of that is to say, as we as a community look forward to how we can spend our tax dollars on education, is music important, Toby?
Obviously, I think that's important. I think you can take that in several different avenues. You can Google the research about what music does to improve brain function. I think it's you don't have to look very far to find examples of where participating in a thing like music also improves you socially and emotionally. And I do think, like I said before, I think we offer that home court advantage. I think we provide a very special opportunity for kids to experience music and be a part of a group. We've had some former kids go on, and they're running programs of their own, and I think it's well worth the investment that we would make.
Katie?
Well, as Toby said earlier, we get one of the biggest privileges to provide a home for a lot of kids who do well in many different places, and those special ones who maybe don't succeed in other places academically or athletically, they find comfort in our home that we provide for them, and the music helps them. It feeds their souls. I have several kids who, I know it sounds a little cheesy, but they literally say, "Mrs. Pretz, that song, I love that song. It feeds me." And I thought that was really powerful, and we need to keep that going. We need to provide a place for that kind of learning and that kind of human growth to happen.
Thank you so much, both of you, for appearing on camera with us today. The program's called Our Town, and I'm Dennis Weiss, but I'm a very grateful dad of a middle school student who I believe that music does tremendous things for as a person and as a student, and I'm pretty sure it makes his world go around. Folks, these are faces you'll see on the street. Feel free to speak to Toby and Katie when you see them on the street about the music program here. Be sure and come any chance you have to get in one of the concerts to listen to the awesome product they put out and support a middle school student. For Eagle Communications, I'm Dennis Weiss. Have a great day.